Okay, so let's take a look at all the parts of this awesome live cover of Chuck Berry's You Never Can Tell from Leipzig 2013. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video, because at the end of the video I'm going to be playing through the whole song alongside a homemade backing track, and you'll see tabs scroll across the screen. Okay, so this song's in the key of G major, Capo fret 3 for this one. And tempo is about 147, quite a fast one this one, but yeah, really up tempo, it's great. So there's only 3 chords, which is fantastic. Classic kind of blues progression. So you've got an E5. Now when you're doing the kind of picking verses bit, which is most of the song, you kind of only really need to put your first finger on the A string. So do the E5 like 0 like this, 0, and then 2. In the endings that you're going to have at the end of the 4th verse and the outro, I tend to play I bar the D string as well. So you could play E5 like this, 0, 2, or add the octave, 0, 2, 2. They're both the same chord, okay? So that's E5, then B5. So you're going to put your first finger, 2nd fret A, and then 3rd finger, 4th fret of the D. Again, you could always add the octave as well. The riff that I'm about to show you, I'm not sure if Bruce even does that when he's playing it live. He might even just be playing a B5 or even a B major, just to keep things simple, but it just makes it a little bit more interesting if you do that classic blues thing. Okay, so you've got E5, B5, and then you've got this once only at the end of the 4th verse, you've got an A chord. Very clever, Bruce. If you know your music theory, Bruce actually holds up to the band number 4, which basically means the 4th chord in the key of G major. So he's just cueing the band there because obviously they haven't rehearsed it. Very clever. So just if you just spotted that in the video, it basically means they're all going to chord 4 of the key of G major, which well, it looks like we're playing an A, but it's actually a C because of the capo. Okay, so first finger barring the 2nd fret, so 0, 2, 2, 2, classic A major Bruce style chord there. Don't play the high E string. So there are your 3 chords, fantastic. Okay, so what I'm also going to do now is put the song structure up on the screen. Hopefully that will allow you to break down all the individual sections. As you can see, right up until the 4th verse, it's the same 16-bar phrase, okay? Don't forget all song structures will be in the description of YouTube videos, and you'll be able to copy and paste it, put it in a Word file to really break down all the sections. Okay, so let's take a look at this main 16-bar phrase. I like to think of it as 2 8-bar phrases kind of joined together. Okay, so the first 8-bar phrase, you get that E5 in position, and I'm using my little finger here. It's to add this kind of extra bluesy note. You could always use your 3rd finger. So basically what you're doing here is just the E and the A string. So position your hand so you block the other strings out. So 1 and, so I'm kind of arcing it. So if I hit the other strings, it doesn't really matter because they're muted. Okay, so basically what you've got is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, it wouldn't really matter if I hit that note there, because that's part of the E5. But yeah, just arcing your finger, making sure you only want the E. You kind of want to give it some with the strumming. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. They're all 8th notes, so half a beat each. And on the 2 and the 4, if I counted it slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Down, up, pinky. Down, up, pinky. Down, up. Yep. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Classic blues kind of strumming there. Okay, it sounds awesome. So basically you're going to do 6 bars of that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the B5. Again, if you're not comfortable with this big stretch here, you could just play a B5, or even add your pinky to add the octave there, or even play a B major chord. If you weren't comfortable with that kind of, I just like playing this bluesy pattern. It just works a bit, it's just a bit more interesting, I think. So, okay, so you're going to do 2 bars of the B5 pattern, which is the same thing, B5, same rhythmic pattern, but I'm just adding my pinky there to 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 6th fret. But it is a bit of a stretch, so you don't want to do that, just do a whole bar of quavers with the power chord, either without your pinky, with the pinky, or make it a B major chord, and that will all work perfectly well, okay? So once you've done 2 bars of the B5, you then we're now to the next set of 8 bars, another 6 bars of the B5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then E5 for 2 bars. Okay, so I'm going to show you that progression again. So the first verse, second verse, again, it's a very jammy kind of song. You've got a piano solo, trombone, trumpet, sax solo, trumpet solo. So I'm going to emulate that as best as I can, of that style on the backing track that I've made for this. So way up until the 4th verse, you're going to do the same 16 bar phrase. So let's go through that again. So 6 bars of E5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then B5 for 2 bars, then another 6 bars to the B5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so E5 for the last 2 bars. Cool, so it's a very fun song. You can see the crowd are getting into it because they're kind of, even at the start, they're even working out what key they're supposed to play in because they haven't played it for ages or even at all. So it's just fantastic. It just shows you how good the band are, that they can just switch. They, just look out for Bruce's cues and they can just play in whatever key, pretty much whatever song he chooses. So it's just fantastic. Okay, cool. So that's basically the 16 bar phrase that goes all the way up to the 4th verse. Now the 4th verse, you do your normal 16 bar phrase. Then what you do is those last 4 bars he just repeats, so the B5. And then the E5 for 2 bars. And this time, now you're going to do those last 4 bars again, but with different endings. You're going to do 2 bars of B5. This is where he holds up his hand to forward to tell the band they need to go to chord 4 now, which is A major, or A shape, it's actually a C. And you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Same rhythm, just with the A. And then that classic do-do-do. Okay, so that rhythm is down, up, mute. So I'm just resting my fingers on the strings there to mute it. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Then he kind of talks to the microphone a little bit and gets the band to come back in. So on the backing track, just to keep it simple, let's just do that last line of the 4th verse. So imagine you've already done your 16 bars, and then you've got this 3rd line of the 4th verse, B5, then E5. Then B5 holds up this 4 to the band, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and down, up, 3, 4. And on the backing track, I'll just let that ring out for another 2 bars and come back in with the outro. So we're going through Bruce's parts today. I have aimed to tap out as much as I can hear of what Steve is doing. He's kind of done some fantastic riffs. So if you get any of the files, the PDF or guitar tab on the online store, jsmusicschool.co.uk, so go in the Bruce shop there. You'll be able to download both Bruce's parts and Steve's parts that you can hear in the walkthrough as well. Don't forget the backing tracks as well. So if you're a subscribed star, just use your codes to get the files. So any questions about any of that, let me know. Okay, cool. So the outro is basically like your normal 16 bar verse. It's just the end. We're gonna change it up a little bit. So outro, you do your usual 16 bar phrase. 1, 2, E5, the 6 bars. Then B5, 2 bars. Another 6 bars. Then 1 normal bar of E5, and then that little kind of musical stab pattern that we did before. Let it ring for 2 bars, obviously longer, crazy drum fills, and then end on an E5. So hope you've enjoyed the video. It's just great classic bluesy. If you're interested in, just kind of basic blues playing there, bit in learning accents and how to change on the 2 and 4 there. Great one for you to do, and not many chords as well. And you know, it's just kind of a song that you can kind of jam with your mates and it sounds awesome. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know if you're at that gig in Leipzig. That must have been awesome to hear him kind of work all that stuff out on stage. Fantastic. So thanks very much for watching. Any questions about getting the files or from the JS Music School website or subscribe style, let me know. Please subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications if you haven't already. And please give it a thumbs up. Any comments, let me know down below. See you next time. Cheers. Bye. you'd like to get guitar files, tab PDFs, backing tracks from any of these tutorials, head over to either the Subscribe Star page or my website jsmusicschool.co.uk. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon for notifications. Thanks very much, see you on the next one.